Hello, welcome to Jenny's Food Network. Today I'm going to show you how I prepare my homemade, delicious, nice and healthy spaghetti, okay? Alright, I'm going to show you some of my ingredients that I use. Here I have I would use four glass bottles of, of the 24-ounce portion size of spaghetti sauce. You can use whichever spaghetti sauce you like, and whatever deals you find out there. So the 24-ounce, I use 4 bottles of that. Okay, I have a big family. I have 5 children and a husband and myself. So we eat a lot, and it's 7 of us. So, and plus we have guests that come over, that will eat with us too sometimes. So I have 3 packs of the lean ground turkey. It's 85% lean, okay? And each pack is 16 ounce, okay? 16 ounce, which is equal to 2 cups. I use 3 packs of this ground turkey. I try to stay away from ground beef because ground beef's got really bad red food coloring. It's not even food coloring. It's like a really bad chemical to give beef a red color to it. So I try to stay away from beef as much as I can. But Freddie still likes to eat his steak once in a while. So here's lean ground turkey, 3 packs of that. I will be using a 7-quart size sauce pan, okay? So this is a big portion. I have some cilantro for garnishment at the end. I have an 8-ounce portion of mushrooms that I will wash and put in later. And I have some onion bulbs that I will dice up later. And cheddar cheese. I usually freeze my cheese because we don't eat cheese often and they mold very quickly. So I always freeze it, and when I do want to use it, I cut off a portion of it. So it's cheddar cheese. Here's some green kale that I will chop later on to put it as a garnishment at the end. And here's some sugar. I will be using 3 tablespoons of sugar to put into the spaghetti sauce. I have 2 boxes of the tricolor rotini. I like the rainbow pasta because it looks really nice and cute, and don't overcook it or overboil it because it'll get kind of soft and mushy. So I also like to cook it, let it boil first, then put it in and boil it for 10 minutes on a medium low, so it has a nice chewiness and the color will stay on it still. I like to use my Italian seasoning and oregano seasoning into my spaghetti sauce as well. And this is my homemade brown sauce right here. I like to pre-make my sauce so I don't have to make sauce every single time just to cook, So I like to make a couple. This is a 1 quart size, okay, 32 ounce portion here. And it's got soy sauce, oyster sauce, teriyaki sauce, minced fresh garlic and ginger, and it's got honey, brown sugar, and whatever you like that you feel that you want to put in to experiment with your sauces, then do that. Just be creative. Oh, there's lemongrass in there as well. Fresh chopped lemongrass as well. Very delicious. Absolutely amazing sauce. You figure out what portion you want, so this is my yummy secret sauce, but you figure out what portion you want, okay? So, be creative, that's part of being artistic with cooking, is like experimenting and see what you like, So, that's it so far, so we're gonna get started. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and transport this over. Okay, so this is a 7-quart size saucepan, okay, to make spaghetti. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this with a scissor. I usually like to buy extra lean ground turkey and just put it in the freezer so, so when I want to cook, when I feel like cooking. I usually don't put any oil. I just rinsed out the pan, and, you could use a little nonstick spray if you like. You don't have to. But in this case, I like to use a little bit of nonstick spray just so it won't stick onto my nonstick pan. So it's kind of wet already, so I'm just going to go ahead and spray it in. Just very lightly. So I'm going to put the pan on high. The heat is on high right now. I just turn it on. So just put that in there. There's the first one. second. Here's the third one. And each are 16-ounce portion lean ground turkey. And it's the 85% lean ground turkey. You're also going to need a cover for it also to keep the heat in, for it to kind of like pretty much steam cook on its own. And make sure you do stir it once in a while so they don't turn into hamburger patties, because you want to make sure you break them up. Okay, so while it's heating up, you know, I'm gonna make sure I open it again and cook it more and stir it around more and break up the ground turkey. And as you let it cook, make sure you keep stirring it and breaking it up so it's more broken up, so it's not in chunks, you know. And there will be a little bit, some juices left. You could either pour that out, of course, but the lean ground turkey is much easier to cook with because it doesn't have much juices compared to like ground beef. Ground beef has a lot of juice and a lot of fat that does get, you know, that gets, you know, when you cook it, a lot of juice comes out of the ground beef and a lot of fat comes out of it as well. Don't pour it down your sink like I did. I poured it down my sink. It created like a clogged artery. And so it clogged my sink. I had to use a plunger to unclog my sink. So make sure you pour your juices into like a container or a bag. You know, pour it into a container first. Once it cools, then you can dump it in a bag separately and tie it up and then throw it in your garbage. Don't pour it down your sink. It will clog. Because when it's warm, it'll be watery, you know, the liquid fat and juices, you know. But when it's going to room temperature or cool down, it will like clump up, you know. It will harden up like saturated fat, and that will clog your sink. You'll know what I'm talking about once you go through what I did. Learn your lesson. So tie it up after you pour it in there and put it in your garbage. Alright, so I'm going to let it sit and cook for a while and stir it as I go. And then whatever juices later on, I'll pour it out, okay, and tie it up. I won't pour it down my sink. So I'm going to let it cook for a bit, and then later on, then I'll put my brown sauce in. Then I'll put my homemade brown sauce in, okay? You could season in whatever sauce you like, okay? And then after I put the sauce in, that's when I'll start putting the spaghetti red sauce, tomato sauce in there, and then I'll add the 3 tablespoons of white table sugar and the oregano seasoning, the Italian seasoning as well. And then I will add in the sliced mushrooms and the sliced or chopped onions, okay? To be continued. At the meantime, while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and wash my veggies and chop it up. All right.